Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm talking about plot armor. Now, as we know, plot armor is a big thing in the anime community, and it's a big thing in fiction in general. Just a real big thing in the anime community. And now, I'm seeing a lot of things pop up saying plot armor this, plot armor that, plot armor this. And I would like to let everybody know, everybody, plot armor and shonen essentially exist almost anywhere. If you do not want to watch most plot armor shows, especially where the MC gets mostly everything handed to them, seinen is a good secondary sidestep from shonen, as seinen is mostly a darker tone. They do more realistic animes, some historically accurate, but then you have something like Berserk animes that the character follows conventional rules and or has like a more realistic twist on how most characters will be faced with things, or how a human would deal with certain things in the anime life. Isekai's no go in terms of like plot armor. Isekai is a walking plot device or plot armor, but there's also a difference between plot and plot armor. Plot armor is something that can be tossed in that has not really been explained before, but since they're there, they can do it. For example, Sukuna, first villain I've actually ever seen with plot armor. For his contracts, I'm forgetting what the contracts is called, but for his contracts that he was making, made up the most nonsensical stuff. Now, people said that he got hit with consequences, essentially, and I reread his fight with Gojo and reread his multiple fights that he had with Jujutsu High. He did face some consequences, but not enough for the stuff he was pulling out of his hat. I can't say the bad word. For the stuff he was being pulled out his hat. But then you have someone like Ichigo, who is a walking plot device. Ichigo can do everything because he's a mix of everything. Ichigo is not something that is plot armor. He is something that we call a Deus Ex Machina, where he can do something just because he's mixed of everything. He can have Quincy powers because he's mixed with Quincy. He can be a Bankai because he's mixed with Shinigami from his father. He can be a Rinnegar or something because he's mixed with something else like that. So he has multiple versions of everything within him. But that a Deus Ex Machina will be explained in a different video. But that's what Ichigo is. He is not a plot armor. He is a plot device to progress the story. Technically, Ichigo is not very much necessary, but since he's kind of a mix of everything, he just has to be there to defend quite legit everything in there. But then you get to Naruto. Naruto has plot devices. Like, for example, most people that watch Naruto, know that the first part of Naruto, basically Naruto gets saved all the time by the Nine Tails. The Nine Tails inevitably is a plot device. The Hashirama cells are Deus Ex Machina, but that's a different video for a different day. Naruto gets saved by the Nine Tails. The Nine Tails has to save him most of the time, if not all the time, because Naruto, if he dies, the Nine Tails dies. The Nine Tails has to get reborn after, I think, a couple of years. Don't know how long that takes, but let's just say a couple of years. So, again, Kurama does not want to die. Sasuke, on the other hand, has plot armor. For example, his fight with Killer Bee, I'm not counting any of the first part fights, his fight with Killer Bee should have killed him. But since they have a plot device in Karin to keep him alive, it makes sense on why he was not dead. Now, Sasuke should have been killed, but since the plot device of Karin is there, you can reason on why he is not dead. But if that Sasuke that was getting beat so bad by Killer Bee were to pull out something like, especially in that condition, say his Kirin for some reason, that is plot armor. Because where'd his extra chakra come from? He's going blind and he was able to pull out his special move. That is plot armor, because it makes no sense on why he did it. Again, plot armor in Isekai does happen, so I will not talk about that. The only animes that you really don't see with plot armor, if you're really into that, is Attack on Titan for real, Kill La Kill. I'll count Kill La Kill. And Akame ga Kill. Everything else will have some kind of things of plot armor where it makes you scratch your head and be like, why can he do this? How should he do this? Even Gachi Takua, I call it Gachi. It's just very much easier. Has plot armor in it. For example, the girl with the scissors. Why she got a Glock? And then it's just thrown in. Oh, she used to be an assassin, but she had a Glock for some reason. Okay. Why is Rudius still alive throughout most of this? Rudius is fighting the strongest raider, captain, everything. Should be dead, quite legit on the spot. But you know what? He's alive. Why? Who knows? The Maker series, he has special equipment. Why? Who knows? And again, it's very much early on, so a lot of things are still got to be explained in the story. But that is what we call plot armor, and explains more and more of the story of why these things has to take place and why these things are taking place. They're explained, so this plot armor that we see around this character will become plot devices. But it happens once, and it's never explained or never brought up like some Seven Deadly Sins abilities or things do. Then they're plot armor. Because it only happens once. It's not really explained. And if it's explained, they chalk it up to a Deus Ex Machina like Hashirama Cells, Nen contracts, or JJK contracts. Those will then become plot armor. Because it makes no sense to the general audience. Anyway, like, subscribe. So every anime got plot armor. Don't complain about it. Enjoy the anime. Watch it, love it, and if you really hate plot armor that bad, watch a cartoon or a live action show. Even then, they got plot armor. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.